I recently came back from a 1-week stay at the Ocean Riviera Paradise all-inclusive resort in Mexico. I ate too much and drank too much at every restaurant, so I feel very qualified to review the restaurants and food at the Ocean Riviera Paradise. None of the restaurants provided a physical menu. All menus were available by scanning a QR code located at your table. So don't forget to bring your phone when you go to the restaurant. Ocean Riviera Paradise does offer free Wi-Fi, so that's not an issue. Every restaurant, of course, has its own unique food menu, but every restaurant also offers a unique drinks menu. I will show you the menus for every restaurant in this video, but there's also a link to the menus in the description below. Let's jump into the first restaurant. Margarita is the resort's Mexican restaurant, and I would come to find out that Mexican food is pretty sparse at the resort. Upon entering the restaurant, the hostess offered a pre-made drink consisting of tequila, milk, and peanut butter. If it sounds like an odd combination, it was. I did appreciate this unique touch, and I wish more restaurants would do something like this. As this was my first night at the resort, I arrived without a reservation, but I got seated right away. There was no issues. The cocktails menu heavily favored margaritas, which was fine with me, as I enjoy margaritas, and fortunately, these margaritas were very well made. My drinks for dinner were a pineapple smoked margarita, a margarita al pastor, then I finished the night with a pina colada. Margarita focuses on authentic Mexican dishes. No Tex-Mex here. I tried the pork rind and shrimp ceviche, the spicy Caesar salad, which was not spicy, the lime soup, and the best appetizer, the tortilla soup. For the main course, I tried the conchita pibil style, the fish tacos, the chicken breast stuffed with goat cheese in authentic mole poblano, and the best main course, the stuffed chile. Dessert, I tried the tacos al pastor, the corn cake with vanilla ice cream, and the best dessert, the guanabana cream. Margarita is a must-visit when staying at the Ocean Riviera Paradise. Heladeria is Spanish for ice cream parlor. Oh, the ice cream parlor. It still baffles me to this day. Why do they only open at 4 p.m.? I would typically stop at the ice cream parlor every evening after dinner or in the evening before the shows. There were usually 8 to 10 flavors to choose from. The flavors did not change during the week. I'm a bit of an ice cream snob. I make my own ice cream, so I have pretty high standards when it comes to ice cream. Unfortunately, I can't rank the ice cream here very high. I would give it a 5 or a 6 out of 10. It really depends on the flavor you choose. You have the option of choosing your ice cream in a cone or a cup. Once they scoop your ice cream, they'll offer you toppings. There are a good variety of toppings, but no sauces like a chocolate sauce or a caramel sauce. I would typically choose sprinkles or what I thought were M&Ms, but unfortunately, they were a cheap knockoff. My recommendation is to stick with vanilla or one of the fruit flavors. Of course, if you have kids, they'll love the ice cream parlor. I had the pleasure of dining at Vela for lunch and for dinner. These were two very different dining experiences, so I'll talk about them separately, starting with lunch. Besides the buffet, Vela is the only non-snack bar open for lunch. Privilege level guests do have access to their own restaurant, but that I'll cover in my review of the privilege level experience. Think of Vela as the beachside restaurant, as it is. It's right off the beach and has an open air atmosphere. As it is a lunch spot, the dress code is much more relaxed. There usually is a small line of people waiting to get in, but it moves very quickly. The Vela lunch menu is quite large and has a diverse selection to choose from. I tried the spinach lasagna, the fish and chips, the whole fried fish, the chili dog, the quesadilla, the beef burger, and the best lunch item, the beef pepito sandwich. For dessert, they didn't have the banana pudding with vanilla sauce, but I did try the coffee caramel custard and 2 types of chocolate cake. Both were delicious. Vela is recommended, but you likely won't have much of a choice since lunch options are slim at Ocean Riviera Paradise. Okay, let's switch to Pez Vela for dinner. As I mentioned earlier, this is an entirely different experience. The atmosphere completely changes. The lighting is more moody, and because Pez Vela is located on the beach, although you can't see the water, you can hear the waves, giving it a very different feeling. The menu is also completely different than the lunch menu. I think our waiter was new, as he slapped down this large plate of bread and butter. Likely, he was supposed to give us one each, not the whole plate. The theme of the cocktails menu seemed to be sweet and fruity. Both cocktails I had were refreshing, but felt out of place. Better at a pool bar in the afternoon, not for dinner. I tried the Antilles and the pink Margarita. For appetizers, I tried the fish croquettes, and the best appetizer, the vegetable carpaccio, which I believe they have renamed since I was there. For the main course, I ordered from the menu and went off menu as I used my privileged guest pass to upgrade my meal. I'll be doing a separate video on the privilege level experience, but if you're not staying in a privilege level room, order the jerk chicken. It was fabulous. Dinner at Pez Vela happened on my last night at Ocean Riviera Paradise. So after a week of overeating and overdrinking, I was planning on skipping dessert, as I was extremely full. Busting at the seams, one might say. But I wanted to capture all the food options, so I soldiered on. I confirmed with the waiter that there were 3 options for dessert, so I reluctantly asked for one of each. He put one of each on a plate, but he brought me 2 plates, so I had 6 desserts. I was so surprised I forgot to take a picture before I started eating the second plate of desserts. Out of the 3 desserts, the apple pie was the best. Pez Vela is a must for dinner. The atmosphere alone is worth it, but also order the jerk chicken. The Bistro is the resort's biggest miss. So much wasted potential. The Bistro is a snack bar located beside the Eden pool. You must wait to be seated, but fortunately there are plenty of tables and chairs. There are only 2 items served: waffles and crepes. Fortunately, there are 4 flavors of each. I ordered a hazelnut crepe and an exquisite waffle. The waffle wasn't exquisite, that's just the name of it. The waffle and crepe were tasty, but pointless. Back to my original comment about the bistro being wasted potential. Never in all my time at any all-inclusive resort have I ever said, you know what I could go for right now? A waffle. I mean, come on. It's middle of the day. It's hot. Who's asking for a waffle? A much better use of the space would be an ice cream bar or a soft serve ice cream machine. Something cooling, since the ice cream parlor isn't open until 4 p.m. Needless to say, I went just the one time. I needed to try it, but unless you have a craving for a crepe or a waffle, I say skip the bistro. Walking into the Steakhouse is a unique experience, as the atmosphere is a total blend of an open, airy, light restaurant combined with what you would typically see in a steakhouse, meaning leather-looking chairs and dark wood. No red wine for me tonight, not when there are interesting cocktails to be had. Mango porter was my first libation, and I should have stopped there, as I also tried the ginger beer, which was very disappointing. For the appetizers, I tried the pork carnitas tacos, the fried squid, the spinach cream soup, the steakhouse salad, and the Caesar salad. All appetizers were pretty standard, so no clear winner. I knew what I was going to order before arriving at the restaurant. In fact, I knew what I was going to order even before arriving at the resort. The family grill is a mix of 5 different meats, served on a platter, family style. Now, the menu does say 2 to 4, but I took that as that I could order for 2 people, 3 people, or 4 people, depending on how many people were sharing. Of course, I was wrong. This huge platter of food arrived, which I shared with only one other person. Although the barbecue grill is a lot of food, it is my recommended dish, as it gives you the opportunity to try multiple meats. I also did try the ribeye and the flank steak. Talk about a meat coma. I was done. There was always room for dessert. I tried all 3 dessert options, and the winner is the New York cheesecake. Overall, the steakhouse was a good experience and recommended if you are a meat eater. Just don't go in expecting top quality cuts of meat, and you'll have a good time. There are 2 snack bars at the resort. One is located in the El Beso section, and the other in the kids section. I did not go to the El Beso snack bar, but I can confirm that the menus at both snack bars are exactly the same. As for the food, I had the nachos, chicken burrito, and a beef burger. I'm happy to report that all items were quite good. So if you don't feel like getting changed for the lunch buffet or Pez Vela, the snack bars are a good alternative. Unfortunately, you are not allowed to take food from the snack bar to eat by the pools. Understandable due to the number of monkeys and coatis located on the property. Route 66 is the American barbecue restaurant, and the restaurant that surprised me the most. Theming is all up in your face even before stepping into the restaurant. Then when you do step through the doors, it's all on full display. Even though the theming was heavy-handed, it was well done and not garish. Once you are seated at your table, the first thing you'll notice is the tray of barbecue sauces on the table. Quite a few bourbon-based drinks on the menu. I started with the Billy Goat, which has tomato juice in it. Can you tell by my expression I didn't love it? Fortunately, my next drink, called Texas, was a perfect blend of many different alcohols and some jalapeno syrup to give it a good kick. Definitely recommended. I tried the potato and cheddar cream soup, the grilled barbecue chicken salad, and the 2 appetizers that tie for best appetizers, the pulled pork sliders, and the nachos with flank steak. There are quite a few main courses to choose from, and options to select the side you want. Combine those with the sauces on your table, and you have a wide variety of flavors. I tried the smoked pork belly sandwich, the barbecue pork ribs, the zapote planked salmon, and the winner for best main, the smoked beef brisket. For dessert, there were 3 options, so I had to try all 3. The cheesecake and the chocolate cake were delicious, but the best dessert at Route 66 is the warm apple pie. The food was excellent. Route 66 is recommended for most people. Avoid only if you are from Texas or Tennessee, as you'll likely compare it to your local barbecue and be disappointed. Blue Moon is the only adults-only restaurant for dinner. Think of it as the date night spot. Out of all the restaurants, Blue Moon tries to be the most upscale as well. Evident by the fact that after they fill your glass up with water, they will come around with a tray of fruit, and you can select which fruit you want placed in your water. I really enjoyed the decor of the Blue Moon with the wall of plates and the wall of wine bottles. I can't say for certain, but I presume that the light fixtures are supposed to be moons. Ocean Riviera does try to match the cocktails to the restaurant, and was very successful with Blue Moon. Along with the Margarita restaurant, Blue Moon had the best made cocktails. Starting with a citrus, and closely following that up with a paradise. Blue Moon has a small, focused choice of appetizers. I tried the peach salad and the onion soup. Or should I say, a deconstructed onion soup. You are given a bowl with onions and cheese in it. That is a breadstick across the bowl. The waiter pours the soup into the bowl from a small teapot. Unfortunately, the presentation was much better than the flavor. On the main course menu, there were 3 specific dishes I wanted to try, including the vegetable phyllo dish. I'm not going to try to pronounce the name of it. We were told that the vegetarian phyllo pastry dish would take 40 minutes to prepare, but who's in a rush on vacation? In the meantime, I tried the salmon with muslin sauce al palta and the governor-style beef short ribs. Although the vegetarian phyllo dish was delicious, the clear winner was the governor-style beef short ribs. The dessert menu only had 3 items, but unfortunately, they did not have the hazelnut mousse. So I only got to try the passion fruit creme brulee and the best dessert, the raspberry mousse. Blue Moon is a must visit if you are not traveling with kids, or if someone can watch them while you go for dinner. Sakura is a Japanese teppanyaki restaurant. Teppanyaki restaurants are always the most popular at any resort I ever go to, and it's no different at Ocean Riviera Paradise. At Sakura, you'll need to make a reservation as seating is very limited and they only have 2 dining times. The food is a set menu. I have been to enough of these teppanyaki restaurant shows where admittedly I feel a little bit jaded. The show is always the same and the food is really nothing special. It's no different here. Sakura is a skip if you've been to a teppanyaki show restaurant before, and a recommended if you've never been before. Just don't go in expecting amazing food. La Locanda is an Italian restaurant. This was not like any Italian restaurant I've been to before, as it was quite dark, not just in lighting, but in decor. Dark wood tables and dark wood chairs. Not a complaint, but I'm more used to a lighter atmosphere. At La Locanda, you may find a couple making out in a booth, as it's so dark. There was no theming that I noticed, which I actually appreciated. I don't need a Leaning Tower of Pisa painted on the wall to be told I'm at an Italian restaurant. The service at La Locanda was absolutely excellent. Our waiter was a very nice gentleman who, although made a mistake on our order, really tried to make sure we had an enjoyable meal. You could tell that they were trying to make this a special dining experience. A lot of restaurants will give bread and butter. At La Locanda, they take it to the next level. On a little side plate, they will pour olive oil, then they'll pour a little balsamic vinegar, and then someone will come around and shave some fresh Parmesan cheese onto the plate. This is all for dipping of the bread that they give you. Unfortunately, the bread could use some improvement, but it was a nice little experience. And the dipping certainly helped the taste of the bread. The waiter at La Locanda knew I was there to drink, because he made sure my glass was never empty. I tried the Rojo Passion, the Pink Gin, and my favorite drink at the Ocean Riviera Paradise, the Ramana. For preemie, I tried the eggplant parmigiano, the lentil cream, the soup maritata, the mozzarella and prosciutto salad, the penne and chicken with pesto sauce, and the best appetizer, the 3 mushroom risotto. For the main course, I tried the oreganata salmon, the pork saltimbocca, and the lasagna bolognese. All the food was fantastic, with no clear winner. 3 delicious sounding desserts on the menu, so I ordered all 3. The tiramisu, cannolis, and chocolate cake were all must-tries. After leaving the restaurant, I took notice of the outdoor dining section. This area has a whole other feel. Much brighter, and depending on your preference, is certainly worth considering. If you're only going to La Locanda once, I actually recommend eating on the outside. I think it was a more pleasant atmosphere. Outdoor or indoor, La Locanda is a must visit when staying at the Ocean Riviera Paradise. I'm not going to say much about the buffet, as it really is a very typical buffet, but I do have a few key points. Breakfast service was the worst. I don't expect much, but I do expect plates to be cleared instead of having to stack them up on the table. I also expect decent coffee and someone offering refills. Both were not present at Ocean Riviera Paradise. Coffee at the buffet was of poor quality, and rarely was I offered a refill. Maybe that was a good thing. Fortunately, there are juices at the buffet, and a mimosa station if you want to make one. I will say the atmosphere of the buffet was the best on the entire property. It felt like being in a giant greenhouse. Well lit, and there were plants everywhere. Very pleasant atmosphere, especially for a morning breakfast buffet. When entering the buffet for breakfast, there is a TV screen showing buffet busy times, and I suggest paying attention, as if you go during a busy time, expect to find empty trays of the most popular items, such as eggs, bacon, sausages. Likely the most common complaint of buffets is the temperature of the food. Ocean Riviera has microwaves in the buffet so you can heat up your food if you wish. As for food options, I really didn't see anything special or unique. Here are some examples of food I saw at the buffet. I'm sure you'll end up at the buffet for breakfast or lunch at some point during your stay, but for dinner, go to one of the other restaurants, as the food options are much better and they most definitely taste better. Okay, here's something unique. This isn't advertised or posted anywhere. During my visit on Wednesday, and only on Wednesday, during the day, there was a cart set up in front of Margarita and the Steakhouse restaurant. The cart was serving Chamoyadas. Before that day, I had never even heard of a Chamoyada, so this was my first experience trying one. It's a sweet and salty snack made of ice, flavored syrup, a salted rim, and a tamarind stick. I don't remember all the flavor options, but mango and strawberry were two of them. Any option to cool down on a hot Mexican day is welcome, so keep your eye open for the Chamoyada cart. Heads up, the tamarind stick is an acquired taste, but worth a try. I have saved the best for last, Mike's Coffee, or as it should be called, Heaven on Earth. Seriously, I could have spent an entire week just hanging out in Mike's Coffee. Let's just start with the size of Mike's Coffee. I bring this up because I've been to other resorts where the coffee bar is just that, a bar that you take coffee to go. Or other resorts may have an indoor cafe, but it's tiny with just a few chairs. Not Mike's Coffee. Lots of seating, couches, chairs, tables. Atmosphere feels like a local, homey cafe. It's very warm and inviting, and has a very relaxed, chill, hangout vibe. But who cares about any of that if the coffee isn't good? I'm happy to report that the coffee is excellent as well. Made with real espresso machines, no pods or cheap powders here. They're so confident about their coffee beans that you can actually buy them. Menu isn't small. They have everything you could want from a cafe. Plenty of coffee and tea options, as well as smoothies and other kid-friendly drinks. If you get tired of the menu, they have a drink of the day. It doesn't stop there, because what's a coffee without a nice dessert to go with it? Does Mike's Coffee have good desserts? You're damn right they do. We're not talking some cheap flavorless cakes. Oh no, these are some of the best cakes I've ever eaten. Even the variety of desserts changes every day. So although I tried, I don't think I was able to try all of them. Perhaps you are not a dessert fan. Well, guess what? In the afternoon, there are sandwiches, and even the sandwiches are good. Usually you would see a small bit of meat and some raggedy lettuce. Not at Mike's. These sandwiches were hearty and delicious. Mike's Coffee even has two special events during the week. There is a chocolate night where they put out a spread of chocolatey goodness. The other event is afternoon tea. Here they lay out sandwiches and cakes. I actually wish they did the afternoon tea a few more times during the week. Perhaps 3 times instead of just the 1 time. If it's not clear by now, I loved Mike's Coffee. And dare I say, it may be worth a trip to Ocean Riviera Paradise just so you can experience Mike's Coffee. I did order room service for lunch one day, but as I find with all resorts room service, the food is just okay and arrives lukewarm. Mexican night happens once during the week, but don't save your stomach for it. The food options were lackluster and the tacos were very mediocre. If you have any questions about Ocean Riviera Paradise, please put them in the comments. Also subscribe so you don't miss my next video about Ocean Riviera Paradise. In the meantime, check out this video. I'll see you on the next one.